And welcome to the We Like Sportz Show. I'm your host, Ed in Columbus, chilling with my guys, Casey and Keith Allen. What's up, guys?
What's good? What's going on?
How's that doing in Columbus today?
Well,
How's the weather?
It's Friday. It's a smack. We're going to do a little Smackdown sports edition today. Have a little fun. I know the second half of Major League Baseball's getting ready to go, actually, probably within minutes.
Yeah,
Some games have already started. But,
Yes.
we're gonna do that. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to pay some bills. You know what? Do you need a pre-workout? We Like Sportz and Titan Nutrition. We've teamed up. Head over to titannutrition.net/We Like Sportz and get an extra 10% off your order. So do that. Get the guns like Casey. Casey, show him the gun. Show him what. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. And also got to give love to the Snooze You Lose podcast with Uncle Joe, the Black Bookie. He has you set. So check him out this Sunday with the Snooze You Lose pick of the week that will surely add sports and entertainment fun, especially when you got more coin in your purse. That's always a good thing. Sports and money. So head over there and check out the Black
I'll
Bookie.
be throwing 50 on whatever he's got. I'm throwing 50.
He's been hot. You know what? Shout out to the
Doing
Black Bookie. He's been hot the last couple of weeks. So definitely check him out.
It's two for two last 2 weeks. So riding with the this week coming up too and see what he's got for me.
That's awesome. But we have a fun packed show tonight. I got a game. We're going to have Casey versus Keith, and we'll get into that more later on. But it basically has to do with, are you paying attention to Major League Baseball's first half? So that'll be fun. We're going to kick off with some of that. And but first things first, let's talk. You know, we always love baseball on this show, so we'll go there first. Shane Bieber just came out, MRI, going to miss his next start. Two-folded question here. How bad do you think it is? Ramifications for the Guardians season, but more importantly, trade value wise, not good timing. So we'll start with you, Keith. What do you think about this?
It's very bad timing. If it's trade wise, it's very bad timing, period. Because you got to think Quantrill is out. Tristan McKenzie is out. And you also know Savali, even though he's pitching real good, he's often injured as well.
Yes.
So
and you've got the new guys who haven't had, like, towards the end of the year might have the run that we're gonna have, used to pitching that many innings too. You got to think about.
Yeah. And they probably was thinking about shutting him down probably in September, but now you can't.
That might be all you have is a bunch of rookie pitchers.
Right.
Correct.
Because you're going to bring Logan Allen back up.
Yeah.
I don't see why they sent him down in the first place, but
I think it was to get him some more, because that what's it called? All Star break is so long. They don't have that in the minors right now, so they maybe wanted to keep him on that normal schedule, pitching every 5 days. Possible. I'm not positive, but that could have been what they were doing.
Yeah.
Casey, what do you think it does, this Shane Bieber thing? Okay, obviously it hurts the trade value. I mean, from all indications are they're probably going to hold on to him anyways from what it seemed like, because I haven't heard much rumblings. I know there's some Ohtani talk about they're fielding offers in Los Angeles for him, but I haven't heard those same accounts for Shane Bieber. I'm not saying that, the front office on the corner of Ontario and Carnegie aren't doing that, but obviously I believe less ringing of the phones if this MRI doesn't come back positive. But for the Guardians season, okay, so Shane Bieber, say he goes down, Case. Say Bieber's done for the year. Do you still think they win the Central? We'll start with that.
I mean, so with the Bieber getting hurt thing, I mean, I feel like in baseball in general, how many times the guy just missed one start? It's sadly sometimes one start, then it's that 15-day DL type thing and keep going to maybe the 60. So hopefully that's not the case, right? We're hoping that he's, just something's going on and he's fine. But even if he comes back the next game, do you think that trade value, would still be what it would, as high as it is because of the risk? And then with the Guardians in the Central, if he was like, not get traded for anything, so we're getting nothing in return but losing him for the year practically with an injury. I would say, surprisingly. Just because he's not been doing that well this year. So I don't think it'll be tough if we had a guy fill in, Logan Allen, bring him back up there, and pitched, the way he is, right? I don't think it's not like he's Cy Young, top 10 for Cy Young this year, right? So it might not be as hard to replace him because he's not been as good as he has been.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you look at his numbers. I said this on the last show. It's his strikeouts that are really down. His earned run average is a little bit higher, but it's not that much higher. Now his innings are down. So obviously his velocity, it's been down for years now since 2019. I'm with you on that one. I think the Guardians have enough pitching. I still think I want a little. I want a hitter. I still want another hitter. I don't know how active they're going to be.
Oscar Gonzalez.
Well, that's the thing. I'm glad you mentioned him being down in Columbus. He's been on a tear lately. I mean, just like anything in the minor leagues, so they'll go 7 of 11 with like 7 extra base hits, and then the next 2 days they're 0 for 4. So I don't know. I mean, if Oscar Gonzalez can be that guy that he was last year in the second half, then it's like adding a piece without having to give up anything. Obviously, that would be the best scenario for the Guardians, and I think that's probably the way they're going to have to go with the season, because I think if they make moves, it's to unload and try to get something for the years to come, because obviously the season, I mean, you're going to be around 500. We talked about it last show as well. What is it going to take to win the division? 86, 87, 88 games?
It might be 84.
It might be, like I said, it might be 83, Keith. It keeps going down. I mean, just it is what it is that way. So I don't know. I think that Shane Bieber, I mean, what I liked about him was he was, that number one that could go out there, at least give you 6 innings, hopefully just 2-run baseball, and you could kind of count on that. But, hey, Tyler Bybee, come on down. Gavin Williams, come on down. Logan Allen, get your butt back up here. Come on down.
And they're going to
stop sucking.
And Cal Crontrell, go away.
And they're going to probably have to bring another pitcher up along with Logan Allen.
Yeah. Here's the thing, too. Now, I saw when I was covering the Clippers, when I was credentialed, I saw James Karinchak. I know he kind of gets lost in the shuffle. He went, struck out the side, walked a batter, almost hit one, threw a wild pitch. But I'm wondering from the bullpen standpoint, because we always talk about teams, and you could always use bullpen help. That'd be another guy, if he could turn the season around and get called back up to Cleveland, would be James Karinchak. Because like I said, you add Oscar Gonzalez, you add Karinchak if he got back to form. This team could be reshaped and revamped in a way that it would start looking more like the 92-win team last year. And then you wouldn't even have to make these moves. And I think that's kind of what the front office was counting on.
Well, we'll see, guys. They'll find out Monday what's going on with Bieber, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think, yeah.
Yeah, they'll find out Monday. Because when he's supposed to...
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Casey.
I was going to say, but you think... I mean, yeah, I guess. But you think good news Monday, right? You get good news on Monday. You think that it's actually good news he doesn't get hurt again? You know, like it could be something that just gets re-triggered. You know, if that's what I'm not being positive at all in the situation, but it's just.
I mean, you mean he's not going to play through it like Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, because look what happened to Baker. I was watching something earlier today, and they were saying, "Man, what happened in Cleveland to Baker? He was here, and then he was here." And it's like, well, that injury he had with the elbow, right? Played through it. What happened? He threw 60 times that next game, right? So,
well, if you ask the Baker apologist, it's all Anthony Schwartz's fault.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, when he missed the block.
Yeah,
Well, actually, not missed the block. He didn't play on the ball.
Yeah, he didn't play on the ball. That's right. Yeah, he didn't play on the ball.
Correct.
He had the short hands.
And that's when Baker got hurt trying to tackle him on the.
He was T-Rex in it.
Yeah, Step Brothers.
Yeah, Oh gosh, those 2 names. Okay, so next person that says Baker Mayfield or Anthony Schwartz, I'm removing them, and if it's myself, I'm gone.
I can get his jerseys. I got a couple of jerseys in my closet if you want.
Why? How many do you? Okay, I'm going to ask a question. Really?
You got 3. Yeah. You got 3.
Do you just burn money, Casey? Do you just want to burn your money, or what's going on?
They're from China.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Okay, China.
About $40 a piece. So
okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I had
exactly.
The true story. I got up my neighbor who gets cheap jerseys from China. Okay, so this is back in the day, obviously 2012. I got a Brandon Whedon jersey. Okay.
Oh wow.
The sleeves. I looked at it the other day. The sleeves, what was once orange, is now yellow.
Oh
Brandon, we think that Brandon Whedon was a better jersey to have than Baker Mayfield?
No, I just like the name Whedon because I'm very juvenile.
Gardens of Whedon.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
Is that your fantasy name?
No, I didn't know.
I remember he got stuck under the flag.
Yeah.
Correct. His first game.
He should have stayed underneath that flag.
That's true. Corey Coleman.
It was all downhill. Now, Corey Coleman had a good shoe collection from what I remember.
Oh, yeah. A lot of help.
That was it.
Yeah. Well, I know this is Friday, so we can kind of go off a little bit. Casey, how's your shoe game?
Nah, it's not that good. Surprisingly. Okay. I used to like in high school, but even look here a little bit. Now it's like New Balances.
Okay. So, right. Keith, what do you rock? Do you care about shoes? Or some people care. Some sneakerheads they care. I don't.
Check out if you'd have caught me about 15 years ago, I'd have been Nikes and everything.
Okay.
Now I don't care.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, the only reason I'm into it now is because my son, who's going to be in 8th grade, he's got Giannis's, he's got LeBron's, he's got Kyrie's. I even got the new Jason Tatum's, the pink ones. Those look pretty fresh. So sometimes when he's not looking, I'll go in his room and sometimes I'll rock him a little bit. This old man, hey, on a Saturday, what I'm saying, put him on. For what reason? I have no idea. It makes me feel young. I don't know.
Yeah, see, like around that time, my son was still in school back then, so. Now it's like I don't care now.
I agree with you. I mean, I'm 25 now. I don't care about shoes that much. But sometimes people are crazy, man. Some of us have so much money on it.
Yeah.
Like I tell them, I try to tell them it's like the Tatums were about 120. I said okay because sometimes I tell myself mentally as long as it's not like 180 because then you're talking close to 200. But then it's a little heart attack action going on. But because then he wants socks to these kids. Yeah. You got to get that. You got to have the socks
and you got to get the shorts.
The shorts got to have the shorts. I mean, my goodness, we're just glad that 2 shoes that match back in the day. 2 pairs.
Right.
Now
whole different scene.
Casey, you're in Orlando. Mm-hmm. Keith, you're in Cleveland.
Correct.
I'm in Columbus. Do you hear that? I hear that. It's time for breaking news. That's right. This is in Columbus with your We Like Sportz. Breaking news. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes finished building his dream home that's equipped with a giant pool, private pond, and a par 3 golf hole. If he wants to keep his home from becoming a nightmare, he should tell his brother Jackson that the home is in Kansas, not Missouri. Northwestern University has fired baseball coach Jim Foster due to bullying allegations. This comes in the wake of the university dismissing head football coach Pat Fitzgerald because of hazing. Maybe Northwestern should focus on what they do best, producing nerds. And finally, ESPN college basketball analyst Dick Vitale has been diagnosed with vocal cord cancer. That is not awesome, baby. Either was that impression. We're praying for you, Dickie V. This is Eddie Columbus with your We Like Sportz. Breaking news.
Wow. That's sad with Dick Vitale,
Yeah, prayers up, Dickie V. Diaper dandies.
I remember when he was a coach.
Oh, wasn't he at Detroit or something?
He was at Detroit. He was with the Pistons.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Both
Casey, this is before your mom and dad decided to get in the backseat of the car.
Yeah, I was going to say, couldn't imagine that.
And that was back when both Detroit and the Cavs were bottom feeders back then. So
yeah, that's
because he was with
I remember
Detroit
Bill Lane Beer. Yeah, Bill Lane Beer was a Cav before he was a Piston.
Yep.
And
I knew that. Yeah,
that's all I know.
Speaking of bottom of the barrel, though, I have an interesting question for you guys, Ed and Keith.
Okay.
So we're talking about baseball with the Guardians. You get 82 wins. The question I have for you, since 2018, there has been 3 teams every single season who is under 500. What 3 teams do you think that is?
Detroit.
Bingo.
Since what 20? What was it? Since 2018?
2018.
Wow. Talking about bottom feeders here.
No Detroit for sure.
Are they still under 500 this year?
Anaheim.
Yep, there's a second one.
Wow, Keith, look at that.
Damn, Keith. I didn't think you were getting that one.
Keith's got angels in his
in his outfield.
And I I would like to say Chicago Cubs by chance.
No.
Baltimore.
No.
Oh, yeah, because they finished. They
finished and they
finished
doing pretty
last
stuff
year.
now. Pittsburgh.
No. It's close to
Kansas
us.
City.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Detroit, Kansas City, and LA. But
Wow.
if you look at those, I can't believe Keith got LA. But
I know.
Who are the top 5 players in the MLB on the same team in 28? It's 5 years, right? You're going on 5 years. That team is not over 5. Like, that's crazy to think about. And they've got other big names too.
And how much money do they spend?
Yes. And you look at Detroit and Kansas City, it's totally opposite type teams. Like those can make sense. But for LA, that's crazy to think about.
Very
I saw that today, and I just thought that would be it was like one of those like charts, and it was like, have you been over for, like the question I asked, it was like yes, no. And then on the one side it was the Angels. Question is, do you have Shohei Ohtani and White Trout? And then Detroit was like, no, and then Casey's no. And then the Angels was like, yes, went down and said, you are the worst team in baseball. That's what it said.
So Casey, would you say the Dodgers are like Disney World and the Angels are like Disneyland?
I would say the Dodgers are like Disney and the Angels are like Universal. That's what I would say.
That's cold. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you're the expert on that, so I'm got. You know what I'm saying?
We should get what was that guy's name?
The Angels are like the other team in Los Angeles.
Oh, Jeff Fletcher?
Yeah, Jeff Fletcher. The guy that was at Disney with us.
Yeah. Gab.
What was that? Gabby. Yeah.
Yeah, the Angels are the other team in Los Angeles.
Yeah, the other team. To me, Keith, we'll always know them as the California Angels.
True.
Then they went to Anaheim. And I question
about it.
Do you guys think the Guardians logo kind of looks like the Anaheim Angels logo from like the early 2000s? I kind of do. Somebody mentioned that the other day, and I kind of looked at it. I'm like,
do you like it? Do you like our logo?
No. It looked like somebody did it on Photoshop, for real.
What you had?
Okay, I like the fact we kept our colors. I'm not gonna lie, I love our colors. There's certain times that I do like it. I think it needs another secondary logo besides. I don't know. I don't know what it needs. I'm not gonna lie. I love Wahoo. I know some people got offended by it, but as a logo, just as a logo, forget all the meaning behind whatever like that. I liked Albert Bell would always talk about him and Omar Vizquel in the 90s when they would come off road trips and they would see ESPN and they would see the ticker and they always Albert Bell even said this, and I don't think Albert Bell's a racist, okay? And Omar Vizquel, I don't think he's a racist, but when they looked at Chief Wahoo, they thought, wow, that was the best logo in all of baseball, and that's them saying it. So I know some people get offended, and that's fine. We've moved on, but I mean, but I do think it's not as bad as what people say it is. I think some people, oh, it's terrible. No, I've seen worse. I know a lot of people have showed like the Cleveland, the roller blading team with their Guardians logo. I think ours is better than that. I mean, I don't know. I don't like it. I like the fact that it's got the baseball on it. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they'll come up with a new logo in 5 to 10 years when they want to generate more revenue and get us to buy more merchandise. I mean, that's what Major League Baseball teams do.
True.
So, I mean, if you hate it, don't worry about it. They'll change it eventually.
I mean, it's grown on me. Truthfully, like I didn't like it at first, and honestly, it's grown on me. And the name of Guardians, like, grown on me. I like you said, the same colors.
Yeah.
What's the spelling of Guardians? Like it.
I love how they spell Guardians. I do like that. I like how they didn't have to.
I like that on their jerseys.
Yeah.
I like that on their jerseys. How they.
You know what I also.
Yeah.
You know what I also liked about it? I know this is weird, but okay. So when you think of like team names, okay, so like Indians, Cowboys, those are generic names. I mean, they really are like just generic. Eagles, that's a generic name. But when you say Guardians and it has to do with the city, and you go behind the story, and some people are like, "Oh, that's stupid." It's pretty. I like team names that there's history with that name about specific with the city. I do like that. So, you know what? If the Guardians would just win a World Series, I think a lot of people would not have a problem with the name.
Trust me, they won't say nothing.
About it. Yeah, it's talking about the Guardians, though. When I talk to people like, oh, one of the Guardians game, like, who the hell's the Guardians? Like, down here, if you're not in Cleveland.
Well, Orlando Guardians are what, your XFL team?
I don't know what the hell they are.
Yeah, there's an XFL team, the Orlando Guardians.
There is. I think it is. So like I said,
Casey, you're there. I mean, you're like,
well, that's my point, though. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Casey said he ain't paying attention to the XFL.
Exactly. I'm not a fan of it, so I'm not going to know who it is. So, like, if the team name changed to something, I wouldn't know. Just like I'm saying, the same thing with the Guardians. If you're not a Guardians fan, and you say, "Oh, I'm on with the Guardians," who the hell's the Guardians? The Indians, you mean? So
right.
It's happened a lot to me down here.
I call them the DNs. They're always, the DNs.
I wonder why between the XFL and the USFL, they haven't got a team in Ohio.
Well, they play in Ohio at Tom Benson Stadium, and
but think about it. You got to root for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it ain't happening. That ain't happening ever.
Ever. And Pittsburgh got the same colors as the Steelers in a way, but their uniforms just a little bit different.
Yeah, the Maulers, as they're called, and
they got the same color scheme as the Steelers almost.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's funny.
You can wear your stuff to the game. You wear your Steelers stuff to the game. That's why.
I saw a thing where they did the TV and the audience and the media share. The XFL and the USFL had identical numbers. I mean, they're identically bad, but they had identical numbers when it came to viewership and everything. So I found that kind of interesting, So I don't know if that means moving forward. Maybe because the USFL will be in year 3 next year. Maybe there's another season of XFL, and The Rock can, have millions and millions of people not watching.
Right. But like I said, hopefully they get a team in Canton there. So
yeah, I agree.
Well, here's what I think we should do. I think because I love talking baseball, but I don't want to go into like the second half predictions and everything that we're going to talk about until we play our game. Who is paying attention to the first half of Major League Baseball? Casey, Keith, you're going to go at. I have 10 questions. Keith, do you want odd or do you want even?
I can go odd.
Okay, so you'll be first up. And I'll keep score here. Okay.
No peeking here, Keith. No looking anything up online.
No.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay, first question. I was
just sharing the show for somebody.
First question. Who has the best record in baseball?
Ding, ding, ding. The Atlanta Braves.
That is correct. Keith got one. Keith got one. Casey, okay. Casey, number 2. This one's a little bit harder, but I'll give you. You have a range of I'll give you. Okay. How many more wins does Kansas City have over Oakland? And I'll give you. Okay. Is it 1-3, 3-5, 5-7, or 7-10?
Yeah, gotcha.
How many more wins does Kansas City, the second worst team, have over Oakland, the worst team? Is it 1-3, 5-7?
Well, 4 it would be not 1-3, the one ahead of one.
Okay.
4
Okay, so 3-5 or whatever like that.
3-5, yeah.
Okay. You know what? You're wrong, and here's the reason why. It's only one game. It's only one game.
I thought it was like 2 or 3 with what I was thinking.
Yeah, it was. But I guess Oakland. Yeah, it was. But it's only. I looked at just one. I was shocked as well. Okay, we'll go to number 3. If the season were to end right now, not counting the games that are playing right now, or if there's any games that have finished, I don't think there are. But name the 3 wild card teams in the American League.
Ooh, that might be that. Oh, let me see. Okay, hold on. All right. Baltimore.
Yep.
New York and Houston.
You had Baltimore and Houston. It's actually Toronto. It's Toronto.
Oh, that's right. Because New York in 4th place.
Yeah. Yeah, New York is actually, I think, 1 game ahead of Boston. They're in 4th, something like that, and I think Boston's in 5th. So,
Yanks got to get that together.
Yep, Casey, we'll go to you. Same question, basically. Name the 3 wild card teams in the National League.
Damn it! I knew the American.
You guys paying attention to Major League Baseball in the first half?
No, I was looking at. I saw the American League because I saw the thing today, and I looked at the American League for the Guardians because we were playing. Houston or some shit.
Texas, we got Texas.
Texas, well, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Is it not the Dodgers? I know that. because they'd be in first. Rangers, not the Rangers. Not the Braves.
Nope.
So then Cincinnati's in first as well, right?
Yeah.
I can't answer that, but I'm not going to say you're wrong.
So, yeah. This is tough.
Well, that's why I mean,
Padres. Is that one?
well, you got to name the three, and then I can. You know what I'm saying? I can't.
Well, I'm not going to keep going if I got the first one wrong.
Okay, it's Miami. You should have got Miami, the Marlins. You should have got the Marlins.
I wouldn't have guessed Miami.
You're in Florida.
Miami's 5 hours away from me.
Okay, fair enough. It's Miami, Arizona, and San Francisco.
Damn, it was Arizona is what I was trying to.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. When you said, I knew kind of you were going that way, but
I was thinking the Rangers because who's the Rangers division?
I was gonna say the Phillies.
Well, they're climbing up.
They're close. Yeah,
they're all pretty tight. That was the problem.
They are. That's the thing with these 1 or 2 games tonight will change all of this. So.
Yep, it changed the whole thing.
All right, Keith, to you. Of the 6 teams that are below 500 in the American League, how many are in the AL Central?
5. Oh, I mean 4.
4 is correct. The Guardians are the only team that they're at 500.
Check out. That might change tonight, though.
That might change tonight. All right, Casey. Does the NL have more or less than 6 teams below 500? We all established the AL has 6 teams below 500. Does the National League have more or less teams below 500?
I'm thinking here. This is not. I'm gonna say less. Damn,
more. It's more. They have 7.
I was saying. Damn, I was gonna say less because I was thinking that they're also close around there that they'd have.
Yeah,
around
it's the NL. The NL Central really kills them.
Yeah, it's like the AL Central. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like and then the AL, the NL East kind of hurts them too a little bit. So and the Rockies and whatever Padres don't help.
Rockies and Padres.
Yeah. All right, there's still time. It's only 2-0. There's still time. Okay, Keith, to you. Who has the highest run differential in baseball? Tampa Bay, Texas, or Atlanta? And I'll give you a clue. Not like it's going to matter, but the answers are 149, 148, and 147. So they're all within. You know what I'm saying?
I want to say Atlanta.
They're actually third. It's Tampa 149, Texas 148, Atlanta 147. And I don't blame you because with the best record in baseball, you would think that makes sense. That makes sense.
And you gotta look at Atlanta's lineup. It's like the Guardians, Indians.
Well, that last month, I think that like most home runs, you could arguably the best offensive season ever. I mean, a month ever. So
I was going to say Tampa because of how strong they started.
Casey, if you paid attention to the questions earlier, you should get this one right. Who has more wins, the Dodgers or the Diamondbacks? Maybe not. Maybe no.
It's the Dodgers because the Diamondbacks are the wild card.
They are the wild card, but Arizona actually has 52 wins. LA has 51 wins because Arizona's got 39 losses and the Dodgers have 38 by percentage points. Darn it, Casey. You're sorry.
Killing me over here, man. I'm not going to get off the fucking bench here.
All right. Well, we only have 2 more. Keith, you're automatically guaranteed win, but you know what? We're going to play this out because we play for pride around here.
Let's go.
Josh Naylor is a batting wise, average wise, I should say, is a top 10 hitter in baseball.
Yes.
Yes, he is. He's batting 305, which makes him 8th in Major League Baseball.
You know what's crazy? They done took away the shift and all that. You'll think that the averages would be higher.
Yeah, you would think, but they are not. And
I mean, shit, someone's hitting almost 400, so
yeah, 383. Yeah, a rise or whatever.
A rise, yeah.
All right, Casey, this is for pride.
Exactly.
All right. Corbin Carroll's batting average is higher than Jose Ramirez's.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to give that to you. Okay, here's why. They're both actually batting 289, but Corbin Carroll is actually ranked higher on Major League Baseball's website because I think if you actually rounded out the percentages in the thousands place, he's actually ahead. So I'm giving you Casey's got one. It's 3-1, and
why wouldn't you have given it to me then? Why would it have been Jose?
Because technically they're batting about 289. The answer would be no. Because
Oh,
the question was, is Corbin Carroll's batting average higher?
Yeah.
And you said, yeah, and it's technically no, but I'm going to give it to you because technically it is. Casey, just be glad you got a point. Let's all give Casey a hand. Give Casey a hand. Give him a hand, you know. All right.
Speaking of disappointment, I want to ask you guys another question then.
Casey's
okay.
So it gets the spotlight off of my 1 out of 5.
1 out of 5, you're 20%. Well, Keith was 3 out of 5. That's 60%. You're both failing.
Yeah. Together we got a B, so that's what matters.
Yeah.
Paul Pierce. Did you guys see what Paul Pierce said?
No.
Keith, did you see
Paul
it?
Pierce say?
No.
Paul Pierce said that if they trade for Dame Lillard, the Heat, they're going to be a first-round knockout team because of all the pieces they lost. And the reason why they made it so far this year versus the depth they had and the performance from Strus, from Vincent, from Caleb Martin, guys that you wouldn't have expected playing it, right? So what do you think about that?
I don't know if there'll be a first round exit, but
because they were just number 8 seed this year.
They were an 8. I know they should have been a first round exit this year. Really,
yeah.
I mean,
and
they could have been. Yeah.
No, well, it all depends who they have to trade for Lillard, though.
It'd be probably Herro, and then 4 picks. I know they want 4 first round. They're stuck on 3. I was reading, but I think it's Herro's the main piece. And then the argument was Herro missed the playoffs last year when he got hurt. Yeah. They got better, right? Yeah. So is it really a loss?
Oh, so it's like losing him. You're really gaining Dame over him anyways because you're
right.
not.
Yeah.
And really, do Portland want to do that deal?
I know that's my thing. The first rounders are nice though, the 4 of them.
Yeah,
but what are they going to be?
I know.
20?
Yeah, because right.
Well, they're not going to get my son in a couple. I mean, they're not going to get him.
Yeah, they got a better chance, I think, to get him than.
I mean, he's running suicides outside right now. He says he's going to be a lottery pick.
Yeah, because I'm like, will you really want to do that deal if you Portland's brass?
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is here about the Heat is if you look, this is not good for Cavs fans, but if you look at the history of guys that on the Heat were good, right? They had a Heat way. Hassan Whiteside, right? After that, he sucked. Kelly Olynyk, he was pretty tough on them, but after that, sucked. Kendrick Nunn. Remember, everybody wanted Kendrick Nunn. Everybody wanted.
Now we don't hear about him. None of the.
We don't hear about him.
Josh Richardson. Everybody wanted him. He was a perfect 6 man. Fill in that 3 spot, 2 spot. Where's he at now? Right. So that was the other word. He signed
with somebody.
But it's not like he's.
But it's not like he's not the same.
He ain't the man no more, homie.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of crazy to think about how it's the Heat way. So it's Strus, Vincent, right? They're going someone's got a good contract. Are they going to be as good as they were in that?
So what are you trying to say, Casey? The Cavs overpaid?
Nah, I don't know. I like the pickup. It's all positive, but like I saw that it's a good point. Like that. I don't know.
I think I think you're right. To answer the Paul Pierce thing real quick, I don't think they're a first round knockout exit. I don't think that. But going to your point,
do you think it's a crazy take?
I think it's crazy. Paul Pierce is crazy. He's mad since LeBron James ruined his retirement. So he's never been.
Everybody was online blowing up that he was way off on that.
Yeah, way off on that. But to your point about the Heat culture, look, I've said this before. I think Pat Riley, he's like, he's an evil genius. He's like, I don't know. There's something about him. And Eric Spoelstra he groomed him. And Eric Spoelstra is going to be a Hall of Fame coach. There's something to that Heat culture. It's kind of like Pittsburgh. You look at the Steelers in the NFL. When somebody leaves the Steelers, they don't amount to bleep. So I think there's something to be said about that, Casey. And I am kind of scared that, at least as being a Cavs fan, that we're not going to get the best or maybe the Heat got the best and we're going to get the rest but be paying for it.
You never know. It could be, starting point too, and he has a great year, in a better situation.
I
for
would
him.
feel much better if any Heat player came with Eric Spoelstra as well in a trade or a sign.
Otherwise, you're saying Imani Bates and Sam Merrill better be ready.
Yeah. Sam Merrill's looking good, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
That Sharif Cooper is looking good. That guy that they had him last year.
Yes.
They got a pretty good team. And
the Porter kid was looking good too yesterday.
Yeah. And Mobley had a good game or two, so Luke Travers. I mean, it's kind of crazy that we're 4-0 in the summer league, but I think we have a pretty solid summer league team.
One thing about being 4-0 in exhibition play. I mean, remember the Browns with Hugh Jackson?
Well, but it's not the same team, though. It's not the same team.
Yeah, I know it's not. But hey, he's still with the Cavs jerseys. There's still something going on there. A lot of those players with Hugh Jackson 4-0 in the preseason, they weren't on that roster that didn't win a game either. So What
do you think of Victor Wembanyama after playing 2 games? He's not playing anymore.
Once he gets a little bit, he needs a little more strength, but he's going to be a problem. That dude can hit a shot from anywhere on the court.
He's the same thing with Evan Mobley. I think once they gain weight, they're going to be a problem. I see that.
Like Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, same thing. Going to be good. I think they're going to be good. We
Chet
talked about it last week on the show. Does it equate to championships? I don't know. I don't think it's like getting a LeBron or a Kobe where now you're a legitimate title contender just because of that one player. But their games are so faceted that it's like to be team conducive that, you get 1 or 2 players around them. And I can see them being 50 wins plus for their whole career, kind of like Tim Duncan was. You know what I'm saying? They're going to win the title every year. But, I mean, you're going to be in that upper top 4 echelon in your conference. And I think with Victor Wembanyama, I think it's the same thing with him. And I can't wait to see what Oklahoma City does with all their picks and everything. I hope Chet Holmgren, I hope he's recovered from that Liz Frank
some
injury.
Good guys, man. They got Josh.
He's looking good.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. They got those 2 Williams.
Yes.
Holmgren's back. Like they got some guys that are.
And Chet was looking good in summer league. He was looking good.
And they got somebody. There's a veteran they had in their team. I forgot who it was, but I didn't know who.
They actually have a veteran on that team.
Yeah, Victor.
They're so young.
Victor Oladipo, I think, is on there.
Oh, that old guy.
They probably.
Yeah, I think they got.
They got Oladipo, so he's starting back over then.
I think so. I'm not. He got traded. I know.
He got traded.
Yeah.
I thought it was OKC.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right with that. I think you're right. I like Victor when he. I'm saying I liked him at Indiana. I liked him when he came into the league. Just his injuries.
How old do you think he is?
500. 30.
He was born in 1992, 31.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Same age as my son.
Wasn't that the draft of Ed's favorite player? Number 1? Was that year or no?
Oh, yeah.
Anthony Bennett?
Yeah, I think you might be.
Ooh,
What?
Ooh.
We can mention that name now because we actually. You know what I always say to people, Cavs fans, it doesn't really matter how bad Anthony Bennett was or good, because we were going to trade that number 1 pick overall to Minnesota for Kevin Love anyways. It really didn't really matter.
Yeah, but if he was tough, do you think?
Oh, I know what you're saying. If he would have been, then would we have traded for Kevin Love? Yeah, because LeBron wanted him. So yeah, I think we would have anyways.
What if Bennett was like a young AD?
LeBron GM, not good. He would have still done it.
LeBron don't like young guys.
No, that's the thing. But Casey, that would have been interesting. It would have been interesting.
Look at the Lakers, man. When he went to the Lakers, you look at that. Like D'Angelo Russell, gone. Brandon Ingram, gone. Julius Randle, gone. Kyle Kuzma, gone.
And he could have used all 4 of them against Denver.
That's what I'm saying. That's a pretty tough team, though. If you had, Randall, LeBron, Ingram, Kuzma, that's a pretty decent.
I mean, look,
And think about that first year when LeBron did get to LA, they was in second place till he got hurt in the West.
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball, but they got hurt now. But Lonzo Ball would have been there too.
Yeah, one thing about the Balls, they always get a bad rap, but I look at LeVar Ball, the dad, and I aspire to make my son that obnoxious as he is. You know what I'm saying? So no, all due respect to fathers out there, don't be like LeVar Ball. And your shoe, come on, man, the Big Baller brand. Now, Casey, we were talking about shoes earlier. Did you order a pair of Big Baller brand shoes?
I never thought of it.
You're like $400 or something.
The slides are like $200.
Yeah,
so, yeah, I agree with you. They ain't happening. Yeah. I don't got that Ed Columbus money.
Oh yeah, it's big bang, bigger than bank, bigger than bank.
That's right.
But one thing Ball did see, he did see the vision where he took all the heat off his sons and let everybody else scrutinize him. Yeah,
that's a good point. I mean, because if he still was taking the heat, though. Now it's kind of calmed down, so it's not as bad.
Right.
But.
Yeah, exactly. But he did take all the heat, all the smoke from him and everything. So, and he had 2 sons that's top 3 lottery picks.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give the man credit. He did something right.
Yeah,
or hit the genetic lottery right there.
Yeah, but looking at him, you wouldn't think so.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and the way he shoots the basketball, he's not a.
Yeah, it's definitely. But what do you guys? It's Free for All Friday. I don't want to, like I said, usually I try to. I want you guys to. Keith, what do you want to talk about? Right here, throw something out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, let's something on your mind. Something let's have some fun here. Let's have some fun.
Can't wait till next week because training camp begins for the Brownies. Can't wait. This will be a year for Kevin Stefanski to show improve, or his ass will be out of there. The only way he will be safe if the Browns don't make the playoffs is if they go 10-7 and they somehow don't make the playoffs because the AFC is going to be loaded, or if they go like 11-6 and don't make the playoffs.
I think if they go 11-6, they're definitely going to the way the AFC is. But you're right; there could be tiebreakers. There could be something crazy.
Yeah.
You never know. I think they got to get off to a fast start. You look at their schedule, especially with playing everybody in the division within like the first 4 or 5 weeks. It's like you better get off to a hot start. Also, too, I think the development of Deshaun Watson. If we're looking at this offense the first couple of weeks and it's looking like it was the last 6 games, there's going to be a lot of people, especially on social media, calling for Stefanski's head. And Jimmy Haslam, unlike some owners, he seems to tend to listen to outside influences. So we shall see. And plus, too, another thing with the hiring of defensive coordinator Schwartz, and even our special teams guy from Indy that we brought over.
Bubba Ventrone.
Yeah, Bubba Ventrone. Yeah. I mean, you got competent guys that could easily take over as interim head coach and ride out the wave the rest of the year and still be competitive. So
I got a bad comparison then. What's the difference with Todd Haley? Greg Williams and Todd Haley. Those guys could have been good interim coaches as well.
Greg Williams finished 5-3 when he took over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they were a big name. Getting Todd Haley for us was big. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't want to.
I think Hugh Jackson had some kind of photos of the Haslams or something. There's a reason he kept his job longer than what he should have. There's got to be something because I've never seen a man go. How do you go 1-31 and keep your job for year 3? I don't know how that happened.
And especially after 0-16, you usually don't survive.
That's cardinal sin right there.
Nobody survives.
Even if it's your first season, no one survives. Like
I know 0-16.
You got to try to be. I mean, the league is there's some teams that are so bad. I mean, it's like almost you got to try to be 0-16.
We could have went 0-16 back to back.
If it wasn't for the pierogi Prince of Parma, Jamie Meter.
He's a Brooklyn Heights police officer now.
Well, God bless him.
Yeah.
The
more you know.
Man,
that's heavy stuff.
Like I said, no playoffs. Probably won't be no Stefanski. And the only thing that's scary about that is. You might not have Chubb or Myles Garrett that next year.
What do you think the replacement for Stefanski would be?
It's probably going to be an offensive coach.
And then what do you think's the next move? Like, what do you think if we lost Chubb and we lost Garrett, right? What do you think? Where are we going? We got Watson for 3 more years, right? 3 more years after it. So what do you do then?
They're going to have to get creative because they ain't going to have no money either. Yeah.
Cooper would be probably – I think if that was a spot where you lose Chubb and you lose Garrett, is Cooper also gone? And you just don't –
Right. Because even though Garrett is signed, he might demand a trade if it's like another coach. Because,
Yeah.
Garrett and Chubb both are tired of sitting at home in January. So,
Correct.
Speaking of Nick Chubb, I'm glad you mentioned him because he was just voted the top running back by NFL executives, coaches, scouts, and players. So he's getting love throughout the league. We've always known
why?
in Cleveland that. Why is that, Casey?
Personality.
What personality?
Exactly. He doesn't start shit. You never see him in the news. He's always just,
he's
running.
Nick Chubb.
He's running. That's what running backs do. They run.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, why would you not want him as your running back or your star player on your team?
Yeah.
That's the
He's
perfect.
like the Forrest Gump of running backs. He just keeps running.
He do his thing.
So I think that's the reason why. Cause like I said, I'll play. Because he's probably a good teammate too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good teammate.
Well, I know something that we can talk about that maybe he wasn't exactly the best teammate, but did you guys see that there's going to be a new Johnny Manziel documentary coming out? And what are your thoughts about that? I actually met Johnny Manziel 2015, the orange and brown scrimmage down at the Shoe in Columbus.
Okay.
He was very nice. He signed my daughter's little headband thing that she had. Very polite. I always say that Johnny Manziel was like Leave It to Beaver. I know I'm dating myself, but the Eddie Haskell, where he's really nice and he says all the right things. He probably did that to Jimmy Haslam, and he's probably, yes, sir. Yes, but probably just the most polite, but behind the scenes, he's partying. He's Billy Manziel in Las Vegas. I will say one thing, Mike Pettin, you're a gym teacher, you should have never been an NFL head coach, because when Johnny Manziel's second season beat the Tennessee Titans 28-14, and he threw those 2 bombs to Travis Benjamin, and then we won that game. The next week, I went to that game. Okay, I went to that game against the Raiders, and he benched Johnny for McCown, and McCown threw an interception at the end, and we lost. But how do you draft a guy in the first round? He wins an NFL start, okay? And then you bench him. That made no sense to me. And I'm not saying Johnny's career would have been, but I think Johnny, when he was benched for McCown in that 2015 season, I think he became more of a partier. And he's used. I think Johnny's the kind of guy where if he's not playing, he's partying. And I would have liked to know what it would have been different, because I don't know. Johnny brought excitement. I know a lot of people badmouth him, but I can bring up tweets of everybody that's ever badmouthed Johnny, and they all kind of wanted him for a certain period of time. And he was excitement, and it didn't work out. But I will never bash Johnny Manziel because he was nice to me, and I'm pretty shallow.
I honestly think had Johnny focused on football, and didn't have the distractions, he could have been okay.
Yeah,
he could have been okay, because the one thing that for his size, and the one thing that Johnny had advantage of, he could move.
Yeah. I mean, he beat Alabama. Those games against Alabama, I know it was college and it's a lot different, the hash marks and things like that. But like in the NFL, he won games. I know there was only 2 games that he won, but there are times that he actually looked competent. And if you look at the players that were around him for the Cleveland Browns at the time, I can't say those were all competent roster positions that were being filled at the time as well. So,
Travis Benjamin, man, what do you mean?
No, the rabbit.
Yeah, he was the number 1. What do you mean?
And I think
if you can't win with that, I don't know what,
And the thing with Johnny, he the quarterback, so you have to really be the example, the extension of the coach. The first one in, last one out. Where Johnny probably was one of the last ones in, first one's out. And that don't go over well with your teammates. Yeah.
No, and the quarterback is such a big position. Like, it's not like, I can't think you compare it to any other position in a sport, because you get so many things going on at once. You got the play call. You got this guy, the blitzing. You got to make all the defense, right? You got all that crowd noise. In every single play, that ball's in your hands, right? And you could fuck it up every single time.
Well, you should know the plays. There were times where Johnny didn't know the plays.
That's before they even throw the ball. That's before the play even starts, though.
Check out Ed. You answered your question right there.
Yeah, I did kind of, didn't I?
Exactly.
You answered your question right there. Like, prime example. You remember when the Browns was on Hard Knocks? And when Hugh Jackson lectured Baker for a minute, saying
being
quarterback is supposed to be the first one in and the last one out? You set the standard
Hugh
for all your
Jackson said it.
teammates.
My favorite was when Hugh brought Baker in and said he awarded him the backup job. I mean, who does that?
Hey, you are the backup.
Those
of
some
the
wild
Cleveland
times.
Yeah, that's well. He was the bus driver, and those were some definitely crazy times.
Hey, well, what if Hugh Jackson told you were the backup? You won the backup position. How would you feel?
I'd say I'm Ed in Columbus. Do you not know who I am, fool?
read this name on the back. Read this name.
I'd
on the
say
back.
I got Casey and Keith. They'll vouch for me. Who's this?
I'm
Hugh
the number
Jackson
one
guy?
pick.
Yeah. Number one money. Well, I'm taking you guys out.
Yeah.
I'm getting you Rolexes. We're taking you out to dinner.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Now let me ask y'all a question. If the Browns had to do that draft all over again, who you think they would have picked at number one?
Are you talking about the Baker one?
Yes.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be the right answer.
What if you took him out of that draft? What if we were the number 2 pick and Allen was the number 1 pick?
Way things looking, I probably would have took Lamar.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I probably would have took Lamar.
Yeah, and those are the two.
Because you got to think, Sam Darnold didn't do nothing.
You know what I found was interesting? Think about this, guys. Okay, you got the Browns, okay, and they took Baker when they could have taken Lamar at, like, say, 30, okay? And then even Myles Garrett, I don't want to knock Myles Garrett, but we take him number 1, and then Steelers take, T.J. Watt at, like, 30, whatever. Like that. It seems like you look at Baltimore and Pittsburgh getting equal value or even better value than what we took at the number 1 picks, picking at 30.
And think about this. Browns could have had Pat Mahomes.
Could have.
Deshaun Watson.
Both them two dudes fell literally in their laps.
Well, we can't talk about Deshaun Watson in laps.
You gotta,
but you know what I'm saying. They both,
I know.
They both fell to them and everything.
Yeah.
And we had talked earlier, 2018 with the Angels not being over 500. That was the year we drafted Baker Mayfield, for you could kind of connect the dots of what year that was.
Yep.
That feels like a long time.
It does.
Yeah. Now, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that's how long they haven't been over 500. But you know who else we drafted in that draft, right?
We drafted Denzel Ward and Nick Chubb.
Yep, exactly. So Ward was taken number 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you took, let's say you're the Browns, right? You said, who would you take number 1? Who would you take number 4 in a redraft?
Nick Chubb. I mean, here's the thing. If you know what you know now about the player, and you know
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
but there's some good there. But I'm telling you, man, you got Saquon, Denzel Ward, Bradley Chubb, Josh Allen, the quarterback, obviously, Roquan Smith, Minka Fitzpatrick, Vita Vey, Tremaine Edwards, Derwin James, Jair Alexander. Leighton Vander Esch. I mean, like, there is Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, that's a good draft. It's just we didn't.
Fred Warner. Fred Warner was taken in the 3rd round.
Wow. And
Mark Andrews.
Wow. Honestly, I thought they was going to take Bradley Chubb with the 4th.
Yeah, that was that was
that was the consensus.
Wyatt Teller, 5th round that draft.
Wow.
He got paid.
So, exactly. So I'm telling you, if you look at that, man, would you still take Chubb? That was a really good draft.
Well, the way the Browns, I think Nick Chubb is going to be like an Adrian Peterson. He's going to be good for like 9 to 10 years. So
I love Chubb.
When it's all said and done, I probably would take Chubb. Like, he's a running back. He's different. I watch other running backs. He's different. He's better. I don't know. Like, he gets 5 yards to carry every freaking time. I mean, my God, how would you? It's like Mr. Automatic right there. How would you not want that?
That's your cheat code.
Jerome Harrison. Remember that guy we used to have? Remember our running back that we used to have?
Yeah, when he had like 200 and some against Kansas. Yeah.
And think about this. With Nick Chubb in the backfield, Deshaun Watson don't really necessarily have to be Houston Deshaun.
No.
If they have to lead in the 4th quarter, Chubb getting the ball if they got the lead in the 4th quarter.
Well, so I'm glad you just brought that up. I've got a good comparison for you on the a different team we got. The Giants, right? So I'm not sure if you guys have seen with Saquon Barkley's contract. The Giants said they're not going to budge with what they're offering them. So they could lose him.
That's football suicide.
Yeah. So, like you said, you have solid Nick Chubb next to Deshaun Watson. Watson doesn't have to play up as much as he
right. But now Danny Dimes has to.
Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes has to play up now.
Yeah.
His
he has
numbers
to be
from
that
last
money.
year were about equal with touchdowns and interceptions without Barkley on the field. With Barkley on the field, his numbers are almost Pro Bowl, right?
And think about this. Danny Dimes is getting paid almost as much as Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, correct. That's what I'm saying. So you lose. And the other thing we talked on Monday about the NFC, who's the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFC, right? We brought up Daniel Jones. It was, paused and thought about maybe possibly because of how bad the division is. But saying that, look how bad the division is. So this is the time, except for the Eagles and the Niners. What team is behind them even? Not a clear-cut contender at all. So who says that the Giants don't go all in right here because this is their time to take over the NFC if they were to keep him. But then if you get rid of him and Jones goes downhill, then you just fuck yourself because now you're in a hole in a time where you should have taken advantage of that gap. Like
I'll tell you what, if that Saquon Barkley situation gets ugly where he doesn't play this year and the Giants sink, that whole front office regime is going to get fired.
Yep, Brian Dable is high on this year, but like I said, if they tank next year, that's what that happens. You don't know. That's tricky with that. You know what I mean? I think that it's such a kind of you were Baker, right? When we were like, hey, this is the year. He had a good end of the season last. Where's he going to go? This could be his push over to the next step. Let's get Odell in here, stuff like that. It goes downhill real quick if something happens.
Yeah.
Well,
think about it. If Baker wouldn't have played after he got hurt, he probably would have still been the Browns quarterback because all the tape from the end of the year previously and the first couple of games in, what's that, 2021?
Yeah.
Was good till he got hurt.
It's like game. Yeah.
Correct. It's interesting. Some little things like that could throw off a player's year. And speaking of Baker, man, the NFC South also blows. Like I was talking with the Giants, Cowboys, and that shit, but you look over there, what do they have? Really, the Falcons, Panthers, Saints, and Bucs.
Yeah. Well,
if New Orleans doesn't win that division, they all need to be fired over there too.
Yeah, I mean, who says there was Carlton Davis for the Bucs said yesterday? He said, why the fuck would we not win this division? He said it's worse than last year. We lost Tom Brady. That's all right. Whatever. We have a whole team effort. It's not just a one-player thing. Why can't we take this division because it's so bad? He said it himself, right? And I mean, the Falcons. Who's going to start for them? Ritter. Yeah,
they'll just run the ball every single play.
Yeah, Cordell Patterson. Yeah, and then the Panthers.
We got familiar with that.
Yeah, right.
The Panthers are Bryce Young. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that, Casey, because I do have one more topic point. Okay, because Laramie Tunsil said C.J. Stroud is killing it. He is a straight dog. So my question to you guys, and we'll start with you, Casey, of all the rookie quarterbacks coming into league next year, who do you think has the potential to have the best season next year, but then also long term?
Man, I'm hoping for C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I like him. I liked him on Ohio State. And the interesting one here is also Anthony Richardson.
Yes, Indianapolis.
Yeah, so they sucked last year, right? But who was the quarterback, man? Matt Ryan and Stan Ellinger is I think who they had in there.
Yep.
Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
He could be sitting right on my couch here.
Hi, Matt.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So who thinks that they can't be good because they got good players. They got Jonathan Taylor.
They do.
Michael Pittman Jr. is tough. Their defense isn't bad. Their O-line's kind of rough. But other than that, Richardson's dynamic, right? It's like a Kaepernick type thing first year, Lamar Jackson type thing.
Yeah.
They're pretty strong. So I think that's the interesting one. There would be the Colts. No. I'm pitching for everything here, but Bryce Young.
Yeah.
We got in the Panthers, like we just said, weak division. you beat up on those teams.
Yeah.
They could even end up,
It's
right
the
around
playoffs.
500 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's it's all about the situation that you're in, and the teams you really got to face. So Will Levis, I don't think is gonna, and Hendon Hooker, I think he's pretty good.
I think he might have a better career than he will as obviously rookie season.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the same thing. And
Plus,
then
he get a chance to watch.
Yeah,
he ain't
that
gonna
might
play
be.
this
Yeah,
year.
exactly. Yep.
Correct. And then the interesting thing too is Stetson Bennett. He's the backup for the Rams for Stafford.
Yep.
He might be playing.
He might not make it 17 games, right? So he might be playing, and you never know. He's mature. He's played for so much longer.
He needs to know when to say when.
You like that one, yeah. Well, you'd be doing the same thing if you were in his spot.
I say that, Casey, because it's a little drinky drink, though.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying, though. Yeah, you'd be doing the same thing if you
in Columbus. We're doing keggers. We're doing keggers.
Big man on campus on his 7th year. What do you expect?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You got to show them real freshmen how a 7th-year guy does it.
The expectations when you get to that point.
Yeah.
But I think if Carolina and Houston both support their quarterbacks, with a strong run game and prioritize the offensive line, they should do their thing.
Yeah, it's like the Cowboys with Dak when they first started. They had such a good offensive line, like it helped them look good because of the protection he had and having Zeke.
Yeah,
it does go a long way having those solid pieces around you.
Yes.
Because I think it's all about, if you said we talked about before, Victor Wembanyama, like it's who you put around him, right? Sometimes the player fails because they don't have a solid, support system.
They don't have Eddie Columbus around them. I get that, Casey.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't have that right-hand man like Eddie Columbus.
I mean, I get that. Every day I'm
holding
people up. I let people cook. I let them cook. I let them cook. But, I just want to say that, it's been a free-for-all Friday. I went around the horn. I want to go around the horn again. Say your last things. I want to start this out first because if I forget this, I'm gonna be very upset. This is a Smackdown Friday Sports Edition. We all know that I am part of the bloodline, so I just want to say this: We Like Sportz Show. Acknowledge me. That's all I got. I just had to get that out.
Knock off his bucket list now.
Thank you. So Keith, what do you got, Keith? What do you got for that thing? Free for all Friday. Okay. Throw something out there. Let it stick to the wall.
All I can say is go Cavs, go Guardians. I don't know who the Cavs play on Sunday, and go Guardians. At least try to take 2 out of 3.
Yep, they're in Arlington to play the Rangers.
Yes, and interesting enough, they're playing one of the teams that we've been closely following. So
guess what? We have adopted the AL West on the We Like Sportz Show. Casey, I would be remiss. I would be a bad custodian, a bad foster parent if we didn't give the update of the AL West. We still got the Rangers in first place, 2 games above Houston, and we have Oakland in last place. And I'm sorry, Gabriel Hernandez. I don't think they've. I think they're closer to moving to Vegas.
Yep, I saw that, man.
I felt bad. I watched that interview with him.
Yeah.
I felt bad for them. I feel bad for the Oakland fans because you think about it, they lost 3 teams within the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, I agree.
Even though Golden State went across the gate, but
if they technically did leave Oakland, went to San Francisco. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was sad, believe
me. I say a prayer for Mr. Hernandez every night that he gets.
I know,
but I would say that's a product of both the owners and city government or whatever.
Yeah, I agree. It takes a civic community to get it done. I totally agree. Casey, what do you got for free fall? You got to give us something. Give me something.
Oh, I got a good one for you. I've got a good one for you. In 2004.
Okay.
This young man talking to you was 6 years old. And there is a Indians second baseman who made his one and only All-Star appearance. Who was that?
Okay, this is 2004.
2004.
And 2004.
I know who that was.
What were the other clues?
2004.
Yeah.
First ever All-Star appearance. First and only All-Star appearance. And he was our second baseman. I will give you his statistics if you would like. Could help. He had 48 doubles, 1 triple, 12 home runs, 70 RBIs, 60 walks, 98 strikeouts, hit 282, and he played in 152 games.
Oh God, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Okay, that would be.
He played here. How about this? I'll give you his playing career for us. How long he played for us?
Yeah.
2004, which is when he got that All-Star game, and he left us in 2006.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know who that is.
It's not okay. I want to say this. Okay, I remember it was a tune of. Was it Ronnie Belliard?
Yep.
Yep.
I liked him. I liked Ronnie, but I really liked him. He was one of my favorites. I did like him.
How about that? I'm sure you didn't expect a Ronnie Belliard quiz at the end of the show, did you?
Oh my. Well,
Yep.
I feel older. I feel wiser, but I feel older now.
I thought he played with us a lot more recent than 2006. I thought this surprised me.
Wasn't he on the 90s? I keep thinking it was Bip Roberts, and wasn't he part of the 97 World Series team?
No, that was Bip Roberts.
Oh,
and
Tony Fernandez.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it was. I don't know
So
why I get that confused still.
His career went from Milwaukee from 98, 2002, Colorado for 2003, us.
That's why he was in Colorado. That's
2004.
when I fell in love. But okay.
Yep, we traded him to St. Louis for 1 year. He then went to Washington for 3 years, then got traded to the Dodgers.
Was he part of the Master to get Masterson or Justin Masterson? Was that part of?
I will check for you right now, actually. But
Okay, because I knew there was a trade to St. Louis around that time. And did we get Masterson?
What do you think his career batting average was in the 13 years he played?
272. Too high.
Did you look that up online?
No, was it really?
273.
Was it really?
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
I didn't look at. How the hell am I looking? Shit, I ain't looking up.
I was gonna tell. I was not gonna believe that.
No, I just 270.
Yeah,
I never was around because I remember like he was like 2.
You must have been a big Ronnie Belliard fan.
I did like. Hey, now, hey, Ronnie Belliard, if you're out there, I deserve a signed jersey. I deserve one.
He wasn't no bad player.
I'm too
wasn't
slow.
no bad player.
I'm an old man.
273 in a 13-year career.
That's pretty good. I liked him. He hustled. He was a good player.
He's a chubby dude, I can tell you that. But here, so he was signed by Colorado. So he got drafted by the Brewers, got signed by Colorado in 2003, cut by Colorado in 2003 at the end of the season. We signed him right before the playoff. Actually, we signed him in the December of 2003, free agent. We traded him to St. Louis for Luna.
Oh, Hector Luna. Oh, how could I forget?
Yeah, Hector Luna played. What position did he play?
Catcher?
Second base.
Second base. Okay, sure, buddy.
What?
Okay.
You can do a hole here, but what do you? Let's see. Let's see his stats here because
And all the people that are still watching the We Like Sportz Show,
Yeah,
hey, this is why you tune in right here. This is the nuts and bolts right here.
This truly is. I don't remember this guy at all.
I don't.
He played for us for a year.
Well, congratulations on your service time.
Half a year, actually. He played for us after that trade. And that was it.
Oh.
He left after that.
Well, Hector
And
Luna.
Belliard was
Thank you for doing something someday. I don't know.
I just can't believe that. That's
okay.
well, I got that.
I'm glad. Okay, so that was Casey's free for all Friday. Throw it at me, and I get. You threw me a nice curveball, but you know what? I saw that sucker. I judged it. Boom! We're over the left field fence, and we're rounding the bases right now. But I want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. Check us out on all platforms. It'll be ready by 8:00 tomorrow morning. Shout out to Peyton Vince because he gets it all ready for us. And shout out to Casey. He makes the wonderful TikToks and everything. I appreciate that. The breakhead news and all the clips. Shout out to Keith. Keith, tell everybody where they can find you at Keith_Allen569. I told them for you. Didn't have to.
Yes.
How great am I? I'm really great. Casey, we love you. And you know what? I want to say
what's my profile picture, Ed?
Yes, Casey. Casey. That's Casey's profile. There it is.
You ready?
Yes. All right. So
right.
Thank you for tuning in,
go.
everybody. And check this out. We will be back Monday. Check us out, 5:30. place to be. But we will see you.
Short
Everybody have a
turnaround.
great weekend. Go Guards.
Yes. Go Guards. Go Cavs.